And hello, welcome to Rice and Rainbow on the radio.
Rice and Rainbow on the radio.
And
someone said that had a lovely ring to it the other day, and I thought, well, of course it's got a lovely ring to it.
Well, we had many discussions on the show about what it should be called.
We were going to call it Jeff and Claire Talk Shit on the radio, but it doesn't sound, it's not as good, is it?
Certainly not.
No, it's true.
May not. I was going to say it may not even be true. What are you doing?
Nothing, just carry on.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
No.
Moving on.
It was thunder outside.
It is a little bit damp outside, to be fair.
It is. I thought I heard a rumble.
There's a rumble in the jungle.
Indeed. No,
No,
not from here.
No. It was in here, in fact, wasn't it? Was you moving your mic?
It was.
Awesome.
I've oiled my chair.
You've oiled your chair, brilliant. Everyone will be so happy to hear that.
Or not hear it, because it's now squeak free.
Go on then.
I am doing.
See?
Did
you hear that?
Nothing. Silence.
Oh, are you happy?
No annoying squeak. Well, I'm happy not to have an annoying squeak, so yeah.
Great. Perfect. Sounds like we're all ready for an awesome show then.
Loving it, yeah.
Perfect. All right, let's, shall we, without further ado, because we're even later than usual. Just for some
we are even later than usual.
Yeah.
I'd like to suggest that I was here.
You were here.
On
you
time.
May have been here at 3, but I was still continuing with my clients.
You were.
So,
I mean, it's not like you didn't have an excuse. You know, I'll let you off. I'll allow your unprofessionalism to slide because
I was being professional somewhere else.
So yeah, that's right. But you had two overlapping professionalisms, didn't you? See?
I did.
Doing two things at once.
It's
quite hard to do.
It's always
depending on what those things are, but you know.
Indeed. I think without further ado, we'll slap on some
bingo,
some tunes for you. This
like
is Freak Show on the Dance Floor.
How appropriate.
And that's Blondie with Harder Glass.
Takes me back to my youth, does that?
Did you have a youth?
Yeah, but he's just outside in the car.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. It was a really obvious joke, wasn't it?
It was.
I just couldn't stop myself.
That's weird. That's the beauty of us, though.
You set it up, and I knocked it down.
Perfect.
Highly predictable. Coming up this week, what have we got? We've got
community-wise.
Well, everything on the show. Really.
Oh, everything on the show. Oh,
yeah.
We're going to do that now. I thought we were going to do community stuff now. We can do everything on the show now. Everything on the show.
Well,
we don't even know.
No, I don't mean do all the slots in one compressed lump and then go home. I meant announce what's coming up, like our famous person slots.
Oh yes, don't forget the famous person.
Yeah, yes. I mean, she's incredibly well known. She's incredibly well known. A lot of people doubted that our famous person last week was actually here.
Outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, for those who missed it, it was Elvis Presley. And people say it's not him, he's dead. But obviously he was here, so...
So who was I talking to?
That's right, yeah. I missed it, I was in the toilet. But he was here. And this week someone equally... well, not equally famous, but a very famous...
Infamous, I think,
no,
possibly.
No, she's not infamous. Even why would she be infamous?
Because she's not really famous?
I think she's famous.
Do you?
Yeah.
Alright.
We'll let the audience decide, shall we?
How about keep tuned to find out who it is?
Who it is, yeah, coming up this hour, as they say.
It's not Jacinda Ardern.
It's not, no. And it's not Elvis Presley.
It's not Elvis Presley. We've already let slip it's a she.
Oh, right, that's true, we have, yeah.
So, any other famous person who is female.
Alright.
Gives you a lot of options.
For sure. We've also got our new conspiracy theory slot coming up. Dun, dun, dun. Is it real? Is it true? Is it all made up? Is there a nugget of truth in it? Or is it all completely made up?
There'll be at least a nugget of truth in that.
There usually is. That's why they
work. That's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly why they work.
We should strap on our tinfoil hats just for that segment, really. I know it's a visual thing, but we should put them on anyway, as to get into the
You'd have to make them first, though.
Well, I've made some. They're just over there.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see.
Yeah, I made them earlier. They're good, aren't they?
So that's what you were doing. That's what you were doing while to hear all this scrabbling and
that's right. I mean, well, you've got to mould them into shape, haven't you?
Well, indeed.
Yeah, I mean, it was 10 minutes hard work, but it was worth it, I reckon. Yeah, cool. All right, and are we gonna? I don't know. Is that it?
Where are we going to? What?
I don't know.
Is
What
there
else is
anything
coming
else
up?
that we're
There's
going to
nothing,
do?
is there?
That
was just
we
gonna make
might
something up.
get the taste sensation back in place.
Taste sensation. That's the one
There's
I was
also
grasping for.
what's coming up in the community.
There's that.
We'll maybe do that one next time.
All right. Cool.
I am going to leave you in charge of the music for the next 2 songs.
Is that a good idea?
It's not a good idea.
All right. Okay.
But I've
I'll
uploaded
do it.
the slots, so it's
Do you
all you
trust
have
me?
to do
You
is
trust me,
remember
sir?
which buttons to press. I know you have a little bit of difficulty with the which buttons to press.
I do, yeah. It's a confidence thing.
It is. But
That's
I have great confidence in your ability to press the green button, and then once that song.
Which one's the green
orange
button?
Yeah. Anyway, no one wants to hear this. The reason why I'm going away and leaving you in charge
All
of
right.
that is so I can
Do
quickly
things.
get to the post shop, because
All right.
Sandy's, if you're not aware, Sandy's is actually closing at 4. She switched over to the winter hours, given that it is winter. Fair
Really?
enough.
It's winter. It's winter.
It is winter.
Okay.
I've got some posts to pick up, so I've got not enough time to do it. So I'm going to go do it.
Go.
Now,
I'll
after
press the
this-
green button and the orange button.
I'll press the green button. You do the orange
You
button.
told me to press the green button.
No, but I'm going to do it now.
Oh, I'm confused. You see how I get confused?
Anyway, I've got
So
some
you want to press the orange button?
Cherry Blossom Girl. The Black Seeds with good people get
Oh,
together,
You too
but not
quick.
in gatherings of more than 100.
You
Not
were
for a
too-
few weeks yet.
You were too quick there. You panicked into pressing some buttons there,
No, I didn't
and
panic.
I was like, well, I haven't even sat down.
Well, it's not my fault.
You're on the ball.
There I know.
I'm just too relaxed. You caught me unawares.
It's not hard though.
It's not really. People can walk straight up to me, face on, and catch me unawares. I can see them coming from 100 yards away and still be freaked out.
I really don't know what to say to that.
I know.
It's exciting.
I should pay more attention.
You should.
Yeah,
Anyway.
definitely.
I've got 3 exciting parcels from Sandy's.
You have. I was going to ask you what they were, but you might not want
I
to.
don't know yet
mention
because
it.
I haven't opened them.
Have you not know what they are?
Well, I know what one of them is.
What they are.
I know
Straight
what...
away. I knew it. I bet you know what all of them are, really.
Well, possibly. Yeah.
A year's supply of underpants. Is that what one of them is?
No, because it's all got my name on
It
it.
says a year's supply of underpants on the
It
back.
doesn't.
So if that was me, that would be a lot of underpants for 1 year. I mean, for me, really, 3 will do the year. Not
That's
that
the rug bag you're
not
looking
that
at.
not that I don't wash them in between, but on a rotation. 3 is probably enough. 4 maybe.
No
4
one wants to hear about your dirty underpants.
Well, it's just a stream of consciousness. It's like being asleep, really.
What, you being on the radio show is like being asleep?
Well, no, the way I kind of talk is like being asleep. It's like I may as well be asleep the way I just like trip through the day. Really. So what I'm gonna think
What
of
are
next?
you talking
I
about is
don't
the
know.
question.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's move on from all this. Have you bumped into our famous guest? Is she around? Is she ready to, Or do you think after another couple of songs she'll be ready? What do you think?
I don't know, I haven't seen her yet, but I'll keep an eye out. I'm
All
sure
right,
she's
okay.
on her way over.
I was hoping you might have bumped into her outside on your way to Sandy's or something.
No.
Oh, God. It's bloody
I think she-
astronauts.
I
They-
know.
Oh,
You gave it away.
I did, yeah. All right,
Okay,
I've said
female
astronaut.
astronaut.
Female astronaut, okay. Let's leave it at that.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
I was going to say
You're
how
gonna drop-
unreliable they are, but astronauts are famous for their reliability, are they not?
Being on time
Yeah.
and all of that.
I mean, being on time is just the start.
Yeah, well, I did tell her to come at 4 o'clock, and it is 3:48, so she won't be here for another 12 minutes.
Wow. In fact, well,
I
yeah.
would say.
All right, go on then.
That's my guess.
Yeah,
But we can talk about so the community updates.
Go for it.
It's, tomorrow morning. Those of you that feel shovel ready, we've got some planting going on. 300 trees need to be planted down the domain.
Ooh.
So anyone that feels like it can go along and lend a hand. So it's a
Cool.
great thing to be doing.
I think I missed that. How did I miss that? First I heard of it.
I know, I didn't hear about it either,
Yeah.
except that my client told me. So
Well,
there
where
you go.
can people find out about it if they want to find out more information?
Just turn up at the domain tomorrow at 10
All right, okay.
with a shovel and plant trees.
Is it
There you
on
go.
the locals'
I didn't
Facebook
see it on the local
page?
Facebook page.
No, neither
As I
did
said,
no.
I got it direct from the horse's mouth, as it were.
As it were, yes.
Another exciting thing that's happening community-wise is we're having a community chat about community gardens. Do you think we would like to do edible landscape? It would be a
Sorry,
great
just
thing to
enjoying a cup
do.
of tea there.
I know, no one wants to hear that. They don't.
Sorry.
You can come along tomorrow, however, because it's outside Vinnie's, and enjoy a cup of tea quietly while everyone else talks and discusses community gardens, where they can be, what you can do, who's up for it. There's some money, there is some land, so could happen. If you want to be part of it, turn up tomorrow at 10 o'clock at Vinnie's. I'm going to punch somebody in a minute.
Who's that? Who's that?
It could be you.
Why? What have I done?
It's so noisy.
It's just
so
people
noisy.
are though, aren't they?
Don't have to be. Like,
It's better if they are.
Deliberately
Don't
drinking
you think
tea down the microphone.
It's not. I'm just having a cup of tea.
You weren't just.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think you do. Anyway, according to the Jam, that's entertainment.
It is.
The Killers with Mr. Brightside.
One of my choices, I might add. When you're not here, you see, I pick more exciting music, and you pick all the chilled out stuff.
I don't pick all the chilled out stuff.
Yeah, you do.
I picked some unchilled stuff.
Yeah.
Look at this one here, Jimi Hendrix. It's not very chilled.
I haven't heard it yet.
Well, it's fine.
Let's see when it
Anyway.
arrives, which one it is.
Well, indeed.
Anyway,
Hi, Morag's here.
I think she is our famous guest.
I saw her.
Careful,
Morag.
you were doing a bit of an impersonation of
Morag
her.
McLeish
I know what you're
is
like.
here.
I'm the same, to be honest. If I'm talking to someone with an accent, I can't help but pick it up myself. It's a really terrible habit, but you know, it's the way it goes. But yes, so don't do that when she's here.
I'm not. I'm just going to go and get her now.
All right, okay, brilliant. Thank you. Are you not staying around to? You're gonna be here presumably when she's here.
No, I've got something else to do actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
You were talking to her earlier, there, weren't you? Anyway, she's gone now. She's ignored me. She clearly whatever it was far too important. But anyway, without further ado, famous person time. I'm pleased to introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, their first Scottish woman in space, Morag McLeish. Morag McLeish, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine.
That's
How are
great.
you?
Me? Oh, don't worry about me. I'm always good. I live in Karamea. What would be nicer than that?
I've noticed that. I was like, oh, it's such a beautiful place
It
here.
is. It is. It's
I
a beautiful.
really love it.
I do.
I've never been here before, but it's absolutely stunning.
But have you seen it from space?
Well, probably.
It's hard to see Karamea from space.
You
but,
know, aye. I mean, you know, and we were coming down in the rocket so quickly that we didn't really have a chance to eye particular places on the world.
Well, I jumped ahead a bit there
You did.
with the whole Karamea. Did you see it from space? The thing, but. As I say, worth pointing out, you were the first Scotswoman on the moon, were you not?
Indeed. We went a couple of weeks after the Americans did, unfortunately. We're a wee bit...
After Neil Armstrong?
Aye, that's right.
Oh, okay.
That's right. So he was the first man on the moon,
Right.
but I was the first woman on the moon.
Oh.
But it was all a bit, because the Americans, you know what the Americans
It doesn't
are
get
like.
as publicised, does it?
It just doesn't.
Yeah. Because very few people have heard of the Scottish space programme, have they?
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Almost nobody,
Almost
I would
nobody,
say.
yeah. It's very
It's very
notable
quiet.
by its absence,
Well,
really, isn't it?
that's us Scots for you, though.
Yeah,
We just get
understated.
on and we do things.
Yeah.
We've invented the TV. Nobody remembers that.
That's right, yeah.
There you go, watching it every day.
Did
Do you
have a-
remember who started it off? No, you don't.
Yeah, it was Yogi Bear, wasn't it?
No, you see? Nobody knows these things.
But
Tom Laird.
you have to know what I'm talking about to get that joke. But anyway, so what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so even did you have a TV on your space?
No,
space
they were
factory?
too heavy back then. we were so stretched for mass,
Yeah.
you know, that we just couldn't take on anything that we just didn't need.
We got a load
So TV was definitely not one of the things that we took with us.
Are these the big ones with the big cathode ray tube
Yes, that's
back
right.
on them?
We
You know?
didn't have any of these flat screens back then. Oh
No.
no. I mean, it was hard enough trying to navigate the space rocket using a ZX81.
ZX81.
Aye.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, because that's as sophisticated as the computers got back then. You know.
Aye, that's right. I mean,
fact,
it
it was ahead
was
of its
top
time.
notch, that was. Aye.
Considering it was the late 60s, you were quite ahead of your time there with the 1980s computer.
Exactly.
Well done. So, whereabouts on the moon did you land? Was it quite close to the Armstrong landing site? Or?
Well, actually, we went a wee bit off course.
Okay.
And we actually ended up on the dark side.
The dark side.
Aye.
Oh.
So, you know, we couldn't really see much. What with it being dark and all. And
hence dark side of the moon.
Aye, that's
dark.
right. Well, the sun doesn't reach it, you see. So it was very cold. Very, very cold. I mean, the moon's very cold anyway. On the sunny side. So imagine how cold it is on the dark side.
I would have thought,
cold.
as an astronaut, you would have known that the dark side of the moon does actually get sun.
Well,
it's just from Earth we can't see it. But you knew that. I'm just winding you up.
It was very cold. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just winding you up, really. See, I was hoping to that you might have been near the American site. And
no. They kept us well away from that. And as I said, we went a wee bit off course anyway and landed in the wrong place.
Yeah, the dark side. I was hoping you might have kicked their flag over or
well, I
replaced it
wanted
with
to.
a haggis or
That was
something.
my plan. Kick the flag over.
Yeah.
I think that could have been why we ended up on the dark side.
Yeah.
There you go.
And now the Americans played golf on the moon, didn't they? What did you do?
I know another thing that we invented. The Scots invented golf, and the way the Americans go, take it over, and they've got cups and everything coming out their ears.
Typical, isn't it?
I know.
Cups coming out their ears.
They do.
It's a nice image to have a cup coming out of your ears, on both ears at the same time.
Aye, fully.
Yeah, that's good. And so, what were the rations like? Did you? I don't want to sound racist, but was there a lot of haggis on board?
Well, you know, it's as I said before with the weight. You know, you've got to really freeze it. So we did have some freeze-dried
haggis.
Aye,
Right,
of course. That was part of our rations.
Yeah.
But aye, wasn't it good really? You know, you need a proper haggis that's been boiled in a sheep's stomach.
Well,
and you know, it's just near the same sipping it out of a metal foily thing.
Would one sip a haggis?
I know, it just...
Not if you can help it, really.
Well, it's something that you're supposed to have with your neeps and tatties, you see, and loads of gravy, and there just wasn't any of that, so... Yeah, just not the same.
Yeah, and was there, I heard a rumour, I mean, it might be one of those conspiracy theories, I don't know, that you played bagpipes on the moon.
Well, we tried.
Again, a bit racist.
We tried, we took them up there.
Yeah.
Aye.
I mean, there's no noise, you weren't making
There's
sound.
no atmosphere, so there's nothing to carry the sound. I tell you something, it was awfully hard to play it with the space helmet on.
Well, this is true, but I have to, take my hat off to you, but not my helmet, because you'd die, obviously.
You would die.
But I take my metaphorical hat off to you and say congratulations on the photo, because the photo that they're playing the bagpipes on the moon, even though you weren't actually playing them, looked fantastic.
Well, it's a good photo.
And it's probably the most famous of the shots of the Scottish moon mission, I think. It's the one that sticks.
It's possibly the only one.
It's the one that sticks in the memory, isn't it? That one. That's a beautiful shot. Along with the American flag in the footprints, the Scottish bagpipes on the moon is definitely an image that always comes to mind.
A sight to
always
behold.
comes to mind for me.
Filled me with national pride.
Yeah, I imagine it did. Yeah.
As did the thistle. We took a thistle up there as well and tried to plant it.
You took a thistle where, sorry?
Up to the moon.
Oh, the moon. The what? The moon.
Up to the moon.
Oh, the moon.
To try and plant it.
Yeah.
And well, as I said, we landed on the dark side, so it didn't help.
No, but as I already pointed out, it does get some sun. But I tell you what, with my co-presenter actually, I know she just nipped out, but she's quite good
I
on the
know,
whole.
it's all right out the back there.
Yeah,
Bloody
you were
walk.
chatting to her earlier, weren't you?
Aye, we had a wee chat,
Yeah.
and yeah, she seems very nice.
She's a lovely woman. She is, yeah. Despite a whole slew of character flaws that I wouldn't dare go into with her in person.
Go on now.
But I wouldn't dream of mentioning that. But yeah, she is. But she's very good on the whole astronomy thing. So I'll ask her. She'll know.
All right, yes, get back to her.
She'll be able to. Yeah, I'll ask her more about the dark side of the moon or not. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that.
Well, Pink Floyd did a lovely album called Dark Side of the Moon.
Was that based on
that
your
was
experience?
based? Aye. Well, you see, I had a chat with Dave Gilmore. He come up to Glasgow one day and
up to where? Sorry.
Glasgow.
Oh, Glasgow. Oh, right.
Glasgow.
Okay.
That's how we. That's how
Is
we
that how
say
you
it.
say it? Are you
Aye.
sure?
Yes. That's how I say it.
Okay. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Being Scottish and everything. Yeah. That's of course. Yeah.
Anyway, there we were, Sauchiehall Street, having a wee chat in the gardens there, and he was very interested to hear how we'd, like I said, went to the wrong side of the moon, and so Dark Side of the
Very
Moon.
inspirational.
He did.
Very
Yes,
inspirational.
that's what he said.
I think I'm trying to remember some of the lyrics. I'm sure the Scottish space mission is mentioned in some of the lyrics on the album.
Well, I'd be surprised.
Can't think apart from the obvious title of the album. But yeah, interesting stuff. And I can't remember whereabouts in Scotland is the the space centre, the space port.
Oh, we don't have a space centre.
Oh, I thought you had like.
No. We just took off from Oban one day.
Took off what?
Aye, took off from Oban.
From Oban. Sorry.
Yes.
See, I call it Oban being English, whereas you call it Oban.
Oh. Aye, see, that's how it's pronounced.
So that's the difference between me being English and you being Scottish. Is the difference in pronunciation.
Yes.
That you'll appreciate and I won't.
Well, apparently you are appreciating it because you're saying that. You're pointing it out.
Right.
So.
Oh yes.
I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing it in Scottish tones with a Scottish accent.
Well, you're better travelled than me, aren't you? See, what with going to the moon and back. I mean, what's that? That's 500,000 miles right there. That's the definition of well travelled right there.
Quite possibly. Yeah. There's only not that many people have been out in space, especially back then.
So you took off from Oban then. So I just can't bring myself to say that. So you took off from Oban then. And was it just from the top of somebody's roof or somebody's garage or something?
Oh, well, we had a nice big open space. There's a big cliff top, you see, and we thought, we'll take it
straight
from there, straight up.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't make it, we've got the seed fall into, it'll be fine.
You got the seeds falling.
Yeah, we've got the Coast Guard there, ready to come and rescue us. So.
I suppose alternatively, you've also got Mull to fall into, which would be
if we made it that far,
yeah.
Could fall into Mull
because that
instead.
might not be very good at all.
Yeah, well, that would be more painful.
A lot more painful, yeah for
definitely.
you and the Malarians, or whatever they call themselves. Malarians? Mullers. Didn't they invent yogurt or something?
Ooh, that's Müller.
Oh.
Müller. With the umlauts, you see. That's German.
With the umlaut. Yeah. Well, Morag McLeish, it's been an absolute delight. So we've heard a little bit about I'll tell you what you've not told us yet was re-entry. How was your re-entry?
Oh well, that was a different story. That was very shaky, very loud, very hot.
Right. Okay.
Very hot, and we were very lucky actually in that we landed in the Atlantic, so the Coast Guard didn't have too far to come and get us.
And you land just off the Outer Hebrides?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Out at Oost.
What?
Out at Oost.
Out at Oost.
Oost.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I would have called it Uist, you see. And again, that's my lack of experience of Scottish pronunciation. That's what's going on there. Oh. Well, it's handy for you, isn't it? You see, so
well, we didn't know how far to come.
The Coast Guard come and get you.
That's right.
Back in time
for tea.
Oban for tea.
Aye.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I like Oban. Sorry, Oban. It's a nice spot.
Aye, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
That's
I saw a seal there once in the harbour there.
Did you?
Yeah. And I think I remember seeing someone building a rickety spaceship on the cliffs there, but
Well, that could have been us.
Yeah,
That
could have been, yeah. Good stuff. Well, Morag McLeish, thank you for coming in. And
No worries.
sorry, Claire was rude enough to.
Oh, hey, don't worry about her.
Yeah,
I'll
I
go
know.
get her.
If you would.
I'll go grab her from the
That'd be
outside.
marvellous.
Tell you what, though, why don't you put on one of these lovely songs you got lined up?
I will do. And
Is
thanks
it the
again for coming
Human
in.
League? Shall I introduce
If
it?
you
Can I
press- you
introduce
see
it?
that button there?
It's
that
the green
That's
button.
the one, yeah. Do you want
Okay, it's
if
the
you're-
Human League with Together in Electric Dreams.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Now,
once again.
oh, here we go.
That's it. You've done it right.
There we go.
Nice one. Well done.
And that's the Jimi Hendrix Experience with If 6 Was 9, which was very chilled out, wasn't it?
Maybe
Exactly.
not, no.
No.
I mean, as
Just trying to prove to you, I don't always play
pick
chilled out
the
songs.
childy ones. Yeah. Well, thank you. It's nice to see you back after you missed that famous guest, which was a bit rude.
Did
But
no,
you-
well, you
But then you
see,
did say you were talking to her for ages earlier.
I have chatted to Morag before. I met her when I used to live in Scotland,
Yeah.
and
And you said she was one of the most boring people you've ever met, if I
well,
remember
just
right.
trying to tie her down to anything,
Yeah.
quite frankly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like just
It's like
I
talking
mean,
to.
there she is. She's gone to the moon.
Yeah.
And what did you hear about it? Almost nothing. It's just madness.
You said she had interminable moon stories. You know, like a lot of older people have. You know, will go on, won't they? And she's a bit like that. I mean, she's that sort of age, isn't she? So.
Well, of course, I mean, if she's,
Yeah.
a young woman in in 1967, then
Yeah,
clearly
yeah.
by now she's in her 70s.
Yeah. Was it 67 or 69?
Oh, I don't know.
69, wasn't it? Moon landings. Yeah.
I wasn't around at the time.
If
you
she
see.
was still here.
I'm saying I wasn't around
If
at
she
the
was
time.
still
If,
here,
if she hadn't just gone out the back and is on her way to wherever,
we could ask her.
we could ask her.
You see, you hear, with moon, like with the American moon landings, you hear these conspiracy theories. It's the same with
Did
the
they
Scottish.
actually land?
Same with the Scottish moon landings, because she told you, what am I on about?
I don't know. I think you're making it up as you go along.
She told
quite
me.
frankly.
She didn't tell you. She told me that they landed on the dark side of the moon. Now I'd read that they actually landed, within like 20 feet of the American mission, 2 weeks after they left. And then when she got there, they went and kicked over the American flag,
Well, she's not going to admit that on there, is
scuffed
she?
out all the footprints,
Again, no one's going to admit to that.
and wrote bollocks to America in the dust. That's what I'd heard before, but she didn't.
You'd heard that. Well, you see,
You'd think she'd have mentioned it, wouldn't you?
yeah. What did you ask her?
Well, no,
Well, there you go.
I could have done. But if you'd have been here, because you know more better than I do. You
Well, I
could have
was
asked
I
them.
was listening to the interview in the car.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
While you're doing your important car-based activities.
I had to go and get a thing.
Well, that explains it all.
That's all
I'm
gonna say. I
satisfied
had to
with
go
that.
get
You
a
had to
thing.
go and get a thing. Well, I rest. Well, thank you. I rest my case. That's all the evidence we need in this trial. Thank you very much. It's an open and shut case.
I've got another thing to go get
Case
in a minute
dismissed.
as well.
Is it a thing of some variety?
It's a thing. It's definitely
Oh,
a thing.
wow, cool.
Yeah, I'll bring it back and show it to you.
I'd
just so
rather
you
you
can
didn't.
You don't know what it is. It might be something quite nice.
I find it disturbing that you're having interactions with things. And it's like, with you, it's just one thing after another. Hey, oh, I like that one. I'm just going to write that one down.
Oh dear, please don't.
All right. It's too late. I've written it down. I really shouldn't have.
Oh, well.
Oh, anyway. Is it time for another track? Or have we
I
been
didn't-
witching long enough?
I don't
Or,
know. I wasn't paying attention.
I
I've
wasn't
been
either.
actually not paying attention to anything that we've been talking about in the last since
Wow.
the song
You're
finished.
normally really on the ball as
I
well.
know.
What's
Well,
going on?
what's going on? I've got like 23,000 other thoughts going on in my head at the
That's
moment.
quite a
That's why-
specific number.
It is.
Not
it
like
is.
22,996, that kind of thing.
No, we see some of them have resolved, and they've gone away now, but the others are still going on. So
I love your ability to multitask. Thinking about 23,000 different things all at once. That's very impressive.
thank
I
you.
can barely do three.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
You
you know
I
that.
do.
You know
I do know that. I do
You've
know
seen
that.
me try to chew gum and walk at the same time, haven't you? It's embarrassing. got to sit down.
That's why we don't let you have gum anymore.
No, I know. I just end up tripping over. It's really not good.
It's not ideal.
No,
Not ideal.
no. But then again, that's life, isn't it? A lot of it's not very ideal.
But isn't that part of life to try and make things as ideal as possible?
Well, in that case, I should delegate more to you, since I can't do more than 3 things, and you appear to be able to do 23,000.
I just said I was
thoughts.
thinking about them. I didn't say that I was doing them.
Oh, that's really unhelpful because I've got some laundry.
Yeah, I definitely can't do the laundry while we're sitting here in the radio station.
Yeah. I think I can see the
That's
problem
definitely not gonna
there.
work.
But I can't even think of 23,000 things all at the same time.
Yeah.
Again, I'm probably limited to about 3 again.
3
there,
again,
so,
yeah. See, well, I think I'd probably get bored if I didn't have quite so many.
Yeah.
things going
So
on.
if you had
I'd be like-
only 20,000 things to think about, you'd be bored.
I'd be like, oh, that's quite a break.
I'm 3,000 things short to think of.
Quick, get
Yeah,
some more things
Get
going
some
on.
more things. That makes sense. Yeah, you can say that. Because you
Something
get
like
bored easily. I know that. I know this.
Well, I find myself an never-ending source of entertainment.
Yeah, I have to confirm. Yeah, you are indeed a never-ending source of entertainment. It's true. It's true.
Awesome. Well, I think we should, on that note, defer to the Kinks, who are having a sunny afternoon.
Defer
unlike us
away.
in Karamea, who are having a rainy afternoon.
Yeah, well, defer away.
And that was the KLF with Build a Fire.
And it was Build a Fire. It sounded like it wasn't Build a Fire, but they do like
Well,
45 different versions of
Well,
everything.
that's
don't they?
right. That's the KLF.
They've
for
only
you.
got 3 songs.
They all sound the same. Yeah. No, that was an original from one of the first albums. I
Okay.
can't even remember because I've gone away from that page now.
Fair enough.
Or something
I'll
else.
let you off.
Thank you.
So I think it's time. Is it time for our conspiracy
conspiracy theory time.
slot? Do you want to do that, or do you want to
Yeah, I can do that if you
do
like.
that? Well,
Why not?
I'll tell you what I wanted to.
You want us to talk about 9/11?
I wanted to talk about 9/11, which is the 11th of November, funnily enough.
It is for everybody else in the world. Apart from.
Do I mean that though? No, I mean the
No, it is.
the
It's the
9th
9th of November, everywhere in the world,
the 9th
except
of November.
America,
I said the 11th. didn't I?
when it's actually the 11th of September,
Yes.
which is when the Twin Towers
Yeah.
just fell down because a couple of planes happened to smack into them, even though they had in fact been designed to exactly not do that.
So straight away.
I am
straight
saying,
away.
straight
there,
away, I'm
you
saying
said,
that the planes crashing into the towers was not the cause of their falling
the
to
way-
the ground.
Just the way you said that was they fell down just because 2 giant jumbo jets crashed into them. That's quite a big event, I would say.
It is quite a big event,
That's a
but
traumatic thing to happen.
nonetheless, not enough to actually make the whole building fall down into its own footprint, exactly as if it had been
Well,
demolished.
I would contend that is exactly what happened.
Well, it's that is what they made it appear to be.
Oh, come on now.
That's what I said. Is it obvious? Is it obvious?
If you crash a plane into a building,
The
there's
building-
a good chance it'll fall over.
It may well fall over. Not these days though, and not back then. Those buildings were built precisely to withstand exactly that kind of attack.
Well,
And,
what
and
have
yet
they
somehow they
been
didn't.
built to withstand an attack like that or an accident like that? So that was an attack as opposed to an accident.
Well, that's what they're saying.
And
It
anyway,
was certainly
can you imagine it?
very engineered.
Can you imagine it? A building designer would say, "Ooh, our building has been designed to
Well, there are a
withstand
lot of
a plane
planes
crash."
flying around,
But,
and
but,
buildings are quite
but
high.
they
So yeah,
but they
actually,
can say that,
it's
can't
fairly
they? And just
reasonable
say,
to assume that a building
Yeah.
would be designed to not fall down should a plane smack
yeah,
into
but when
it.
does it ever happen by accident? Because
It does
anyone
happen.
could say that. I could say that the sandcastle I built on the beach today was resistant to being hit by a jumbo jet, and
Well, that
you
wouldn't
wouldn't
be true
want to
though, would it?
you wouldn't want to test that, would it? It'd be pointless, wouldn't it? Hitting a sandcastle with a jumbo jet. Obviously,
Yeah,
It's,
I don't know why you bring that
it's
up.
good.
It's
Well,
nothing to do with it.
my point is right that I can claim that because it's not going to happen. So a building designer can say, "Well, I'm going to say it'll withstand a strike from a jet engine, because they know it's not going to happen. Oh, oops, it has happened, and guess what? The building fell over. Oh, it's outside of our design specs, but we're not going to admit to that.
Yeah, but surely if the building was going to fall over because that happened, it wouldn't just fall down neatly into its own footprint. If it was going to fall over as because a force on one side hit a part of it, wouldn't in fact what happened be that like the top of the building come off and bits go all over the place and not all fall down? Surely, why would the bits at the bottom fall down? You know, it doesn't make sense.
I would argue that because of the structure, which you mentioned before, it could be that if a plane hits it squarely in the middle, goes mostly into the middle of the structure, and it burns hot from the inside there, plus the building design means that when it does go down with that kind of trauma, it just happens to fall neatly and squarely down onto its footprint.
So now you're saying it's kind of the fire that caused it to burn and
it will be
down.
It will be mostly the fire, yes, because obviously it didn't
And
fall
again,
down in the initial impact.
That was a thing that has been proven that the buildings were designed to not do. With their other story buildings have been completely on fire and have not fallen down.
Again, though, these jets just taking
We'll
off
take you back
full
to
of fuel,
take you back to that
and you're
Grenfell place.
sticking it right in the middle there.
What?
Sticking it right in the middle. Grenfell wasn't full of jet fuel
No, it wasn't
on one
full
floor,
of jet fuel.
whereas these were like tons of jet fuel.
But the whole
spread over
building,
a couple of floors.
the whole building was on fire, and it didn't fall down.
It's not the whole building. It's like where the planes hit was on fire, and the fire spread
No,
upwards.
but I'm saying Grenfell, the whole
Oh,
building.
the whole building.
The whole building
Different
was on fire,
Started
and it didn't fall
started
down.
like a chip.
There's a whole
fire,
bunch
isn't
of
it?
other skyscrapers that have been whole buildings on fire, haven't fallen down.
Yeah, just because some of them fall down doesn't mean to say it's a conspiracy theory for the ones that do fall down.
What, the ones that just happen to be owned by top billionaires who got a lot of money riding in a couple of insurance things?
So tell me more then. I suspect we get to the nugget of the conspiracy.
Well, this is ultimately, well, certainly if you watch the film Zero, which is precisely about the whole 9/11 thing, was it a put-up job? Yes. Some of the facts that they present certainly seem to indicate that. And one of the things that they said was that whatever the rich guy is who owns the buildings, can't remember his name now. But anyway, he basically had big insurance on those buildings falling down or catching fire, and that payout would be way more than the cost of the buildings.
Would not one have building cover anyway?
Well, one would have building cover anyway, but to that extreme, that it's actually billions
well, I
of
don't
dollars.
know the wording of his insurance
Billions
policy.
of dollars. $7 billion per
Really?
tower.
That sounds like
That's
a lot.
quite a lot,
That does
exactly.
sound like a lot.
$14 billion. So what? Does he care about the people inside? No.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Well, no.
Who can
And
say?
There was a number of
I don't know.
people that were supposed to be in there at that time and weren't, because either they got some kind of warning that said, "Hey, don't go in, come here today instead," or
But again, is that true? Or is it just one of those stories that goes around?
You need to watch the films and listen to the people that they
But
spoke
surely
to.
the way to do that would be to maybe
And
interview
again,
those
a
people.
fireman called to the explosion at the time, said that they heard explosions going off in the ground floor, in the basement.
Well, that could just be some misheard stuff going off. As the building starts to buckle, no, that would make sense with it. Let me think about it.
Well, I tell you what he thought it was. It was the explosions that caused the building to come down exactly in its own footprint,
But it didn't,
just as if it had been
blow
demolished.
It didn't blow up from the basement,
also-
did it? It didn't
it's-
collapse into the basement. It collapsed
It
into the
does.
basement.
Exactly,
No, it collapsed
Go
from
and
where
watch the bloody
it
footage again.
collapsed from where the planes struck. It didn't
did
collapse from the
not.
ground floor.
It did not collapse from where the plane struck.
It
That's
didn't
exactly
collapse from
my
the
point.
basement, though.
Yeah, it did. It went.
It did not collapse from the basement. Now you can see the footage of the top of it collapsing down as the structure below. It's not from the basement up.
So why did the rest of it go then?
Because of the weight of what's falling down
Oh,
on
what
top
a
of
load of
it.
rubbish!
You
Honestly,
can't just say it's rubbish.
I can.
You can't.
You
You
tried to
come in
rubbish
here with
my
your
bits.
conspiracy
You
theories.
rubbish my bits, I can rubbish your
Your
bits.
baseless conspiracy theories. And
It's not baseless.
I'm just merely offering this
There were
as
people,
a,
there were
a simplistic
witnesses,
explanation.
there were eyewitnesses,
Oh,
ear
excuse me.
witnesses in this case, ear witnesses
Ear
that heard
witnesses.
explosions going off in the basement.
Anyway.
There is
you can-
the BBC interview where the reporter is standing in front of building number 7 saying, and we've just heard that building number 7 has gone down. And then a couple of minutes later, and the building is behind her. It's behind her when she's saying those words.
I'd like to see that.
Go have a look on
I
YouTube.
will do.
Because it is there. And it's like,
Tell you
what?
what, we could have prepared more for this section.
You could have prepared more
Or
for this.
I
I
could have
gave you
prepared
all
more.
of this information
I,
weeks ago.
Look, I'm winging it, all right. I'm coming from the reasonable person's point of view, because I'm as you know, I'm famously reasonable. So I thought that's what I'll just wing it. It'll be fine.
And in fact, because you haven't researched things, you don't know what you're talking about.
I find it hard to believe that there's an elaborate conspiracy. When
Where some rich guy who's already rich and doesn't actually care about anyone else makes even
Come
more
on now.
money.
Occam's razor.
That is actually quite a simple
simplest-
solution.
the
That is a
simplest-
simple thing.
The simplest solution is that some nutcases nicked some planes and flew them to some buildings.
And is that,
That's
does
the
that,
simplest
how,
explanation.
okay, right, on that, how did they find a passport on the floor outside?
Because
Magically, he didn't burn up in the plane with the guy.
Because
How did that happen?
explosions can be weird and do weird things.
Really?
They
That
can-
weird?
I'll bet you
Honestly?
a number of things blasted out of the impact blast zone when the plane hit. All sorts of things that would otherwise be combustible got blasted clear and didn't combust.
Rubbish. Absolutely
Not
rubbish.
everything burns in a explosion. If it's an explosion, things will get thrown clear of the explosion before they get a chance to burn.
Yeah, possibly.
He speculated.
But the passport just,
Well, it's convenient, I admit, but
extremely so.
yeah.
And what about all the phone calls from up there? Like,
Phone
given that
calls.
you're not supposed to be able to actually communicate up on planes, not only because it interferes with the navigation equipment, but it's actually it's not physically possible to do so. And yet people,
from planes,
for people on their mobiles, turn
from
their
the
mobiles on.
planes.
But we're going to drive into the towers anyway. I'm going to phone my loved ones. Did you not hear all of those?
Yeah, but still, if you're flying
How did
over,
they happen?
if you're flying
It's
over
not
New York
possible.
City, you got phone masts everywhere below you. They tell you to turn your phone off just so you're not going to interfere with the systems of the plane. But if it's about to crash, hey, I'm going to turn my bloody phone on. I don't care what they tell me to do. So again, you see, that was easily discounted because you just turn your phone on, and there's masts everywhere. Obviously.
But was there back then, though?
Yes. Actually, I don't know. When,
Yeah, you see,
when was it?
exactly.
2000. Yeah, there must have been. Yeah, 2000,
It was
2001,
2003?
2003. Could be. Yeah,
We can't even remember.
2000ish. No, I don't know. I
It's
know it's
ages ago.
9/11, which
It's a
is
while
like
ago.
the 9th of November or something. But
It's the 9th of November.
apart
I'm
from
really
that-
that whole thing is just confused me.
yeah, yeah.
Misnaming of the dates.
It's just occurred to me, if we get mysteriously bumped off on the way home, I want people to remember this little slot here. If we've uncovered some massive issue here.
I'd be like, oh yeah.
Uh,
What the guy? I mean, I
Jeff
can't
and Claire were talking about that now.
about that
Look
thing
what happened to them.
and named no people whatsoever, and yet still managed to get bumped off.
Yeah, well, we've aired the conspiracy. Well,
And
you
loads
have.
of people have heard the conspiracy.
I just like to take the opportunity here to
dissociate
appeal
yourself.
to
Not
my.
me. No, I believe
appeal
everything
to
I was
my,
told by the American media, who never
I
lie
wish
at
to
all.
appeal to my elitist overlords. I'm totally on your side. Your wish is my command. I will happily work for peanuts until the day I
The
die.
doctor does.
I like peanuts.
At
What
least
can
peanut
I
butter.
like peanuts. I like peanuts. This, what can you say? So yeah, it's not me. It's Claire.
It's all me.
I
take full
I
responsibility.
believe it was an accident.
Jeff has nothing to do with
It's,
it.
it's Claire. Claire thinks it's the shape-shifting reptilian overlords that did it. I don't think it was. I think it was lots of terrorists. And
Lots of them.
God bless the flag and apple pie and lots of other things that Americans normally go on about.
That's just so much toadying.
Yeah, I know.
So much.
But if it saves my life, I'm right there.
It'll be worth it.
I'll come to your funeral.
Thank you.
But then I can't then, can I? Because then.
Well, it would be weird if you didn't come to my funeral.
It would, yeah. Definitely.
For those that are listening.
Yeah. Well, it would. But anyway, yeah. So there you are. So
unless you were already dead, or they take you out with me anyway.
Well, this is a very charming.
Don't care about your apology.
What a very charming turn of conversation we are experiencing just at the moment.
It's
Wishing
decided
each
to
other
bring it up.
dead all of a sudden. The hands of the CIA.
I didn't wish you
Did
dead.
I say CIA? I didn't mean that. Because the CIA are a wonderful, blameless organisation that I have complete respect for.
I didn't wish you dead. I just said they might take you out as well.
Who?
They.
They.
The capital with a capital T.
They. Wasn't there? There's a film about giant radioactive ants called Them, wasn't there? Is that who you're talking about?
Could be.
So a group of giant radioactive ants
who
crashed
it
some
is.
planes into the Twin Towers.
Have you ever seen the film They Live?
I'm going to say yes, but I've completely forgotten what it's all about.
Well, it's those they. If that explains anything.
No.
Anyway,
I'll ask you during the next.
Ask me during this song, which is the Lars, and there she goes.
Oh, the Lars, very nice.
Grand lass.
Grand.
That's Radiohead.
I like that. I like the end.
Karamea Community
Radio. Yeah.
As it comes to a standstill.
Yeah.
Sounds like a landing spaceship.
It does. It does. It sounds like a Scottish.
The Scottish one.
Spaceship as it lands.
As it lands.
That's what it sounded. That's
Yep.
probably what they sampled.
I
for
reckon
that
they did.
track.
I
Yeah.
reckon they did.
It's obvious when you think about it, really, isn't it? It's like most conspiracy theories. It's obvious when you think about it. That's definitely happened. And as that was karma police, are we going to get some kind of karma for having mentioned that particular conspiracy theory? Good karma or bad karma?
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, I'm just talking nonsense.
Well, karma's neither good nor bad, is it? It just is.
It's just repercussions, I suppose.
It is, if you're going to talk about that kind of thing, it is what is coming to you, basically. You reap. You reap as you sow.
Yeah,
so if you're going out being mean and crappy to people, you'll get
onions.
Bad karma back. If
Not,
you want.
not onions then.
Well, not onions.
No.
Well, maybe onions if you don't like onions.
I like. Well, if you were good.
But if you're good,
Maybe,
if
and
you're
you
nice
and you
to
like
people,
onions,
and you like onions, then you get
then onions is good. So it's good.
Sometimes it just don't quite make sense, do you?
But I told you I can only do like 3 things at once at the most.
Oh,
And even that, sometimes I can't even do one thing at the same time. So,
Well, you were swinging around in your chair a bit.
sort of absent-mindedly. Like,
That must have drifted
oh,
you
where
off.
am I? What's going on? Why is it dark? What's that thing on the floor?
Sun's going down.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, I do have to resurrect. I do have our taste sensation.
Oh yes, that's right.
This week.
Taste sensations.
Yeah, Lisa's there. Yeah.
Do it on drum roll.
That reminds me. The noises. We could bring that. We need some, some
Your
sound
phone,
effects.
quite frankly, just wasn't able to give us the volume
I
of
did some.
noise required.
I did some like comedy sound effects last time, didn't I? Those
You
cartoony ones.
did make your own up as well.
Did
that.
I?
You did do that for
What
one
did I-
week.
Oh, what did I do?
Oh,
Did I
really
bang
don't
a-
want to remember.
Cup on something.
No, unfortunately, they were all created with your voice.
Okay. Oh yeah. Do you know what?
Do you remember that now?
I've just spotted our tinfoil hats. We were going to put them on for the conspiracy theory
You
section,
went to
and
all the
I
trouble
forgot.
of making them.
I
as
forgot
well.
to put them on, and well, they'll keep for next week.
Well, that's right. We can leave them here. I don't
Yeah.
think anyone else will run off with them.
No, I don't think
We
so.
can put them up there on the shelf there.
Yeah. They make they make a very pleasing sort of crackly sound, don't they?
They do.
So that's tinfoil hats for you. So,
Well, that's right.
what can I say? Anyway, taste sensation.
Which is.
Well, there's a load of. Oh, you do it again.
I know.
There's
it's
a
drum
load
roll.
of. Is that what that was?
Yes.
I thought it was like.
I said that last time.
I thought it looked to
Drum
me.
roll, I said.
Oh right, okay. I'll let you off if you did say that. I'm going to take your word for it because I've got a terrible memory.
Well, we're recording it, so you can.
All right, I'll
listen
play it
back
back
later.
later. All right.
You will actually
taste
have to
sensation.
listen to what I'm saying, though, not what you're saying.
There is a ton of Feijoa around at the moment, and I don't know if you like fruit that tastes like washing up liquid, but I
Oh,
rather,
you're so mean.
I I
up
rather do
liquid.
like it. And I do like the taste of washing up liquid. They're good though. No, they're very nice. And we have a ton of feijoa at the moment.
We do.
And so what do you do with a ton of feijoa? So I made a feijoa crumble, and to give it a bit of extra uniqueness, I put in a little sprinkle of chili flakes.
You did.
Just to give it a little edge.
Feijoa and chili crumble.
And it was very challenging, shall we say, to eat.
Well, I'm just gonna say I'm glad we had the coconut cream.
Oh, it really took the edge off the chili, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah. I put a bit too much in, maybe.
It did. I think so.
Yeah.
Are you sure that was the only problem, and not the fact that you put in chili and not ginger?
Or the fact that it tasted a bit like washing up liquid as well. There's that.
I don't think feijoas taste like washing
Don't you
up
think
liquid.
so?
No.
Just think next time you eat one, just think to yourself,
Does it
yeah.
taste like washing up liquid?
Washing up liquid.
What washing up liquid have you been eating?
Maybe it's not washing up liquid I'm thinking of. Maybe it's like
They taste quite. They've kind of got
Some
a very
kind of-
floury taste.
a detergent
Like a
of some
flour.
kind, I'm thinking. Domestos.
That's bleach.
Oh yeah.
They don't taste like bleach.
Alright, I've gone too far with Domestos. But then anyway, so lots of sugar. And the usual crumble topping of equal parts of flour, sugar and margarine. But remember, we're not equal parts because that would be a lot of margarine.
That would be a lot of margarine.
Equal parts of sugar and flour. Actually, that's a lot of sugar as well. Isn't it? Alright, forget the equal parts of anything. Right? Just make them as you go along. Make sure that you've got a nice crumbly texture once you've mixed it all in. And you can put as much sugar as you like because it'll make it sweeter. That's fine. And then you end up with an equal part of crumble topping to go with your lovely feijoa and chili crumble.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But yeah. There's still some left, I believe.
Funnily enough.
There's
still some left.
I'm really looking forward to it now.
Oh, yeah.
After we've really bigged it up, washing up liquid in chili.
What's not to like?
What's not to like? Yeah, bit of custard might really set it off. Set it off a treat.
Where are you going to put the custard?
I don't know, but I'm going to find something
Cumin.
utterly revolting.
Cumin.
Cumin in the custard.
Cumin in the custard.
Ooh, but it scans so well. How could
I
I?
know, exactly.
how
How
could
can
I
you
not?
refuse?
How could I not? I'm
Cumin
gonna do
custard.
cumin custard. You see-
Feijoa and chili crumble with cumin custard.
You say that, with the intention of it sounding ridiculous.
That should be really
I like the
nice.
sound of that. I'm going to do that. Cumin custard.
It's worth a go.
Oh, it is. So there you go. That's this week's
Taste
sensation.
Oh, well, funny, we've got the Ramones coming up with some needle and pins. Maybe
Ooh.
we could try those next week.
Needle and pin crumble.
Yes.
I'll put some 3-in-1 oil in it as well.
And that was Uptown Rankin.
It was.
by Althea and Donna.
I was a wee bit slow on the buttons there.
You were. That's
Yeah.
right.
I was going to try and multitask. I thought, I can do what Claire does.
No.
And she rushes back into the room, and I tripped over myself. I thought, hang on, I've got to press 3 buttons. Which order do I press them in?
By the time you thought all that, I was there.
Well, on top of that as well, I was also looking at the sound effects. I've refound the
Now that
sound
must have
effects.
pushed your thing up to 4 things.
I know, and we know it's not doable, is it? But I don't know. Have I got them turned on? Is this
I don't
thing?
know. Have you got them turned on?
Oh, yeah, that's it there, isn't it?
Yes.
Try that one. There you go. Well, that sounds alright. Sounds like you go into a supermarket, doesn't it?
Yep, that's shot.
There we go. So, do you want some sound effects? Just some crazy sound effects?
Do we have to?
We don't, no. I rather like them, though. Oh, excuse me. You
Oh,
see
yeah,
that?
we do.
That's one there. That's a very popular sound effect.
Are you sure
As
it's a
is
sound effect?
this
It's
one.
not just you.
There's all sorts of them going off here. Look at that.
Why would you need so many fart sound effects?
I think I've overwhelmed it. I think it stopped.
It's stopped. It's gone. No, stop farting.
It's not doing anything now.
There you go. It's.
This is. Oh no, not that one.
See,
Anyway,
what would happen is that you'd end up then choosing a sound effect that went on for ages. And it's like,
that's one of the pitfalls of these little things, isn't it? It'd be nice if they'd like just a quick one off, but some of them just go on.
I do.
Yeah. But I noticed after mentioning conspiracy theories, I heard this sound, and I thought, oh, they're coming for us now. They're definitely onto us.
Send the Americans over.
Yeah, discreet. That sort of sirens blazing in a town
No one ever does
of
that.
600 odd people. No.
And one police car.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like that.
No.
But I don't think I've ever seen Alan's lights on.
No. Well, no.
I mean, not that I've lived here forever or anything, but I haven't seen his lights on.
I mean, when would he put them on? Sort of chasing down a crim?
I know, exactly. It's
That's
like,
what you'd have to
and
are there any
that-
crims? Would you chase them down? You'd probably
off
just
this
say,
road here,
hello,
the
Bob.
end road?
You
off
know all the
nowhere?
crims, don't you, anyway? So you just
go
go
round to the
around.
house.
Yeah, that's right. Ring the bell. You
Wait,
know,
come
you
on,
know what
you're
I'm here
nicked.
about. You know what I'm here for. You stole those
We
sweets.
found it.
You nicked
We
those
found the
sweets
stuff.
from your sherbet dips. We found the illegal sherbet dips that you took from the shop. So it's time to face justice. That sort of thing.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what, and again, he doesn't. Again, he's never used the lights.
You
I've
should
never
put them
seen
on,
him
though.
use the lights.
You should put them on anyway, just for the effect of it, really. Occasionally, special occasions, Christmas, stuff like that.
Well,
Disco.
I'll tell you what.
You can have a
We'll
disco.
have a word with him.
All right.
I'll say, hey,
Well,
Alan,
if you're listening,
time.
Alan, next time there's any events where some flashing lights might be useful, it'd be great if you bring your car along and just put the woo
flash the
woos
lights
on.
on.
Yeah. Well, I'll dance to them. I promise. And I know Claire will. She dances to anything.
I do dance to quite a lot of
She
stuff.
dances to a drop of a hat. It's a bit embarrassing if you walk up the street, someone drops a hat, but there you go. It can be quite entertaining, but it takes forever to get anywhere, though.
I know.
Someone's dropped a hat, Claire's dancing, that's it for 10 minutes. We've got
It's a
stuff
good
to
hat.
do.
It's a
We've
good
got stuff
hat.
to do.
I mean, who doesn't want to
It wasn't-
zoom around a brim?
Who doesn't want to zoom around a brim?
Yeah, that's
Well,
what
I've
I
never really thought about it before, to be honest. No one's ever asked me. Fancy a quick zoom around a brim?
Well, you see, this is what happens when you
To
start
which
dancing
I
at
would
the
probably
drop of a hat.
reply. No, I wouldn't reply that now.
Would
It's a
you
long
not?
button.
See, that's another thing.
I
They're
like-
just so awesome,
I
these
quite
sound
like-
effects of yours.
I quite like these
Got such
sounds.
a
I think
mastery
good,
of
aren't they?
it.
I have, yeah. Oh, this one might be good.
Well, I'm not a crook.
That's one of those long ones we talked about. isn't it?
Yeah,
What's
I
going
think
on?
this is going on now.
I think it might have finished.
And what was that? Mixed comical.
Mixed comical. So it's a variety of comedy sounds.
It's
So
just.
it's useless, isn't
It
it?
is, exactly.
Virtually-
What
it's
point would you
virtually
need all
useless.
of those?
All in one go, no. But you could, this one might be good. You could say, oh, look, it's going to be dark outside, isn't it? It's looking a bit stormy. What do you think? Oh, that will work quite well.
That was a reasonable
It
thunderstorm.
wasn't bad, was it? Yeah, it might even start, like I can hear it raining. It's raining now. And there's a cricket outside as well.
Excellent.
Yeah. And next we've got a crow that's outside, just outside the window. Tapping
Fantastic.
his little beak on the window there.
Alright, I'm sure everyone's
He's,
so excited by all these
yeah.
different sounds now.
I'm loving them.
I know you are. You just like
I'm having
pushing
a wa-
buttons
I'm
though.
having- It's not that. I like the.
Are you sure?
I like the different noises. I'm like a child, really.
Oh, I rest my case.
I will happily sit here all day going.
Pressing
Look at
buttons.
this one.
Listening.
Oh, that crow has just broken the window it's tapping on. See, that's quite. I quite like that. You can randomly press a button and then.
And
So,
make
which
up a
I'm going
whole
to do.
story about
Which
it.
I'm going to do, right?
They've got programs. for
That was
people
the
like
crow doing God knows what.
Yeah.
No, that was the crow receiving a round of applause after crashing into a gong. Do you think?
No, I didn't hear much of an applause.
All right. It was a crow crashing into a gong, followed by some astonished gasps from onlookers. No, that wasn't it. Was it? Was it?
Well, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
Everyone's just going, you know what, I'm in deep shit here. And parts 1 and 2, Pruden, Dorfmeister. And that's the Beastie Boys with Get It Together.
The Beastie Boys.
Awesome stuff.
They're pretty cool, I have to say. That was an appropriate one.
That was.
That one worked.
Well done.
Yeah. Look, it's all dark and horrible, and I'm hungry.
Are you saying you want to go home?
I am.
All right.
Come on,
We'll
you
go
want to go as well?
Yeah, we have been on for 2 hours.
Yeah, and we like to do 2 hours.
Yeah, that seems to be our favourite amount of hours.
Play
to do.
some of your favourite tunes.
You don't get in there quick enough. I used to start off by saying, okay, you can choose whatever.
I know. Yes, it hasn't escaped my attention that you used to do that, and now just completely.
And now
ignore
it's
me.
like, that's my music.
Exactly. That's so.
Well, we're trying to redress the balance a bit. Well, you sometimes get your own entire hour of rock show.
And that displaces or offsets your lack of, letting me pick stuff. Was that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think to that. That's what I think to that.
Well,
Or do I think?
I just think there'd be more
Or maybe-
variety in the music if I choose it. Otherwise, it's just going to be all rock. There's nothing wrong with rock.
I
I
do
don't,
like rock.
I don't dislike
I do
it.
like some
But
heavier
I just
stuff.
think there's some other
true,
genres to explore.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. All the weather's turning a bit
It's
out
getting
there
worse.
again.
It's
isn't
getting
it?
worse.
Yeah, it's.
Fortunately, it's all just an app on your phone, so
Is
we're
it?
going to escape that soon.
You might be right now. I don't know though. This sounds pretty genuine to me. I think that's actual. That's actual thunder out there. It may sound exactly the same each time, but
And very quick.
yeah.
Very quick. I've never
And
heard
the
thunder.
rain never
quite that
lasts very long
quickly.
around here either, does it? It's
Yeah,
raining now,
that's not true on the west
and
coast.
then
Let's face it.
suddenly it's stopped. It's still going though. Right, stop now. Anyway, look, enough of all this. I want my tea. I want my feijoa and chili crumble. There's some to finish. I'm determined to have it
The
with
cumin
cumin
custard.
Yeah, definitely. So
Sounds great. So yeah, pretty much all that's left for us to do then is to let you know what's coming up on the rest of the week,
yeah.
which is so far
Nothing at all.
nothing at all.
Nothing there.
Next week, however, on Tuesday evening, Craig's back from 7ish,
Yeah, marvellous.
which is awesome, and we will of course be back on the Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Thursday. Sorry,
Yeah.
Thursday. I was looking,
Began with tea.
exactly. I was looking at
Yeah.
the wrong tea.
That's not like you
And,
just get thrown by a tea like that.
Well, sometimes that
No.
happens.
Were some of your other 23,000
Thoughts
thoughts
were
getting
competing for
in the
my
way
attention. Yes, they
for
were.
the attention of what day of the week it is? Yeah.
Anyway, so we will be back next week,
That
some
sounds
point
back
in the
again.
afternoon, between 2, 3, depending on if or when I have other clients,
Yeah.
which may not eventuate to anybody. So anyway, we'll see
Indeed.
what happens.
Let's go.
That's the joy of working for yourself. Never know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Anyway, I shall return you all to the playlist.
The delightful
Enjoy the
playlist.
rest of
We
your
covered
evenings.
some good stuff today with our famous guest, the first Scottish person on the moon, first Scottish woman on the moon, who you missed that bit, but never mind.
I did. Well, as I said, I did catch some of it in the car.
Yeah, and whilst you're doing your thing, which we
While I was doing my thing.
your nebulous thing, and we had the conspiracy theory slot, we had taste sensation slot, we had a very small locals slot, didn't we? I suppose.
Yeah, we missed out on the climate change slot as well.
Should we quickly do that? Climate change is bad,
There
but
you
no
go.
one's to hear that.
We flattened.
We've
We
done
have
it.
flattened the
COVID curve.
COVID curve. Now we need to
Flatten
flatten
the
the climate curve.
climate curve. There we did it. We
There you go.
crowbarred it in right at the last.
Sweet.
I need a crowbar
Yeah.
noise. I can't find one. I can't bother to look for one.
Good.
Let's just go.
That was my plan.
All right.
Anyway, enjoy the playlist, guys, and catch you next week.
See you next week.